Welcome back, everyone. In today's game, I'm going to go ahead and cover Game 8 of a First Book of Morphy. In this game, we have Paul Morphy with the black pieces playing the two knights defense against Arnis de Riviere, Paris 6, 1863. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We have E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop C4, Knight C6, the two knights defense. Some comments here. It says, developing with the threat, Bishop C5 isn't as sharp, but that move prevents White's bigger counter threat by leaving the black queen in touch with G5. Okay, so it says that Bishop C5 is not as sharp, but it keeps the black queen and prevents the knight G5 move, right? So it prevents this move, which is what happens in the game. White goes knight G5. It says D4 makes a lesser threat, though it seems to control the center and queenside development. Okay, so again, it's just to go back. It says D4 makes a lesser threat, takes, aims to control the center and queenside development. Okay, so knight G5. Black plays D5. D5 is the best move to defend against White's threat to capture on F7. But Black can ignore the threat and take a lead in development with the risky and exciting Bishop C5. Okay, so it's giving a different variation here. Black can ignore this threat here and play Bishop C5. So Bishop C5. Bishop captures F7, King E7, after which Black would gain more time with Rook F8. Right, so after this move, and let's go ahead and add this variation here. So now takes here, and then let's say White castles. Now we're gonna play Rook F8. And now Black has to move away the bishop because we're going to knight takes, and then we take, and we gain two pieces. Right, so that's the alternative. Black plays D5. E captures D5. Let's go. Knight A5. D3. Morphy's invention played against its inventor. The simple D3 guards one bishop and frees the other. The modern preference is Bishop B5, C6, D captures C6. All right, so the modern preference is Bishop B5, check, C6, and then D captures C6. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with D3. H6, Knight F3, E4, Queen E2. Okay. Here it just says that at 1946 Chess Olympiad, a Grandmaster Bronstein surprised Master Reuben with a bishop sacrifice. Instead of playing, he pretty much captured here, and then the black knight captured the bishop, and then let's see. Takes, and then White played Queen D4, kicking the knight out. Knight B6, and then Black played C4, having three white pawns in the center. So that's just what it's saying. However, in this game, Queen E2 was played. Knight C4. So knight captures on C4. D captures C4. Bishop C5, H3. Designed to make a hole for the knight, okay, and to keep a black bishop of G4, okay. All right, so we have the next move, castles. Knight h2. Knight h7. A surprising turn of symmetry. Black makes way for the f pawn to fight control for the center. For now, d5. Okay, so d5 and e4 pawns command equal space, but the c4 pawn is better than the f7 pawn. If 12, queen e4, then rook e8 pins. All right. So again, you have to look, what's the threat behind these moves? So let's go back to the castling, right? Knight h2, okay, so he might play here, or knight f4. And then same thing for black. You put the knight back to h7. What's the threat? Black can now play f5. Right? And again, it's saying that these pawns are good, but that the c4 pawn is better than this pawn, right? So that's why black is trying to push f5. And it says if queen takes, then we just pin it with rook e8. Okay, so let's keep going. Knight d2. Black plays f5. Knight b3. Bishop d6. Again, the knight was starting to capture, so the bishop retreats. White castles. Says white is castling into it. Black's forces are aimed at white's king side, so white should head for the queen side, where his pawns control more of space. Bishop d2 plus queen side castling is a safer place. So your white is castling into the attack, right? The knight can jump in here. The queen has can jump in here to the king side. The bishop, if the pawn moves, then we have the bishop is also pointing here. The pawns are going to be rolling this way, so white is castling into the attack from the black side, right? So a better, safer move was, again, bishop d2 and then castle queen side. Right, so white castles. Bishop captures on h2 check, removing the defender of the king before the diagonal closes on the next move. So it's something that black noticed, right? The knight is no longer here. White intends to close the diagonal with f5. So before he does that, again, white takes on h2. King captures h2. Now black plays f4. Opens the c8 h3 line for the bishop. Okay. And with greatly disruptive f3 in store, what's the threat? Now black can play f3. So queen captures e4, knight g5, attacking the queen. Neither side has connected his rooks, so at move 16 the game is still in the opening, and black is guided by the knights before bishops principle. The knight needs 2 moves to get across the board to attack the king, while the bishop just needs 1. So the knight develops first. Instead, bishop f5, queen f4, bishop d3. Okay, so he goes knight g5. So it's saying instead of knight g5, if bishop f5, so if bishop f5, queen f4, queen takes on f4, and then bishop d3. Okay, so then bishop d3 right here. So let's continue. Knight g5, queen d4. Not one of white's queen moves is attractive, so it's saying there's no really like, everything kind of looks like a bad move. So it's saying queen d3, there's bishop f5. Okay, so on queen d3, then we have bishop f5 attacking the queen. Queen e1, there's knight f3. Queen e1. Then we have knight f3, sacrificing the knight, takes, and then we can get the queen in here, and the bishop is going to take. On queen g6, there's rook f6. Rook f6. So again, nothing looks good. You kind of have to calculate in more to see which option is better. So we're going to continue. Queen d4. Then knight f3 is check. Fatally weakening the white king position. So sacrificing the knight. But again, now the king is weakened. The structure is weakened. G captures f3. Queen h4. Rook h1. Bishop captures h3. The bishop's introduction prevents the white king from running to f1. And rook f6, rook g6 will close the checkmating net. If rook a to g1, then bishop f1 mate. Right. So I guess that is a threat from black. Probably to go here and checkmate, right? Now, if rook g1, then bishop f1 is checkmate. These squares are taken by the queen and the bishop. So at this point, white resigned. So let's go ahead and recap real quick with the computer analysis enabled. It's just showing that white made a couple of mistakes and a blunder. So let's go ahead and look at the game. Let's take off the annotations. Same thing here. This is a variation. Okay, everything is looking fine here. It says by move 10, h3. It says minus 0.7. Black has an advantage. Okay, so here it says it went from minus 0.7 to 0.7, right? So this was a mistake from black. So here Stockfish recommends to play e3. I guess to not to retreat, make a retreating move, but to push forward with the pawn. And this is a continuation. Bishop takes, bishop captures, f captures on e3, knight e4, castles, knight g3 with the fork, queen f3. Now black is up the exchange. White recaptures with the knight, and here it says minus 0.3 for black. So black has a slight advantage. Instead, knight h7 is a mistake from black. However, white makes his own mistake here with knight d2. And even without the engine, it just looks like it's wasting time, right? Instead of, if we take off the engine, here it just looks like white is wasting time. Right? White could have castled, gotten his king safe, and then start developing his pieces to prevent this f4, f5, and to start defending. Right? Instead, before he castles, white plays knight d2, then to b3, wasting more moves. This allows white or black to play f5, and then start kind of rolling the pawns towards the king, to the white king. So just even without the engine, it looks like hey, this is like, what's the purpose of this? King safety first, right? So let's go ahead and continue. Knight d2 was a mistake. So now the recommendation was from Stockfish, knight c3. And this is a continuation. This is a Stockfish line right here. And again, the idea is you just develop the bishop, you get out of the way, you castle queenside, and then now black has to reroute his bishop, and then start launching the pawns towards the white king. And again, white counterattacks with its own pawn push, and that's how the game continues. With it's given here white 0.7 plus 0.7, so white has an advantage. Okay, so let's continue. Instead, white makes his own mistake. And now black is allowed to play f5, not knight b3, another time-wasting move, because white is getting attacked on the king side, and black is just kind of playing around on the queen side. Of course, he's attacking the bishop, but now the bishop is rerouted to d6, where again it is attacking the knight, which is defending the king side. So let's continue. Okay, here it's just saying that it's an accuracy, but it's 0.6 to my. Okay, so it's giving an advantage to white now. c5 was the best move, and we'll give. This is some type of computer line. Okay, king captures h2. So now here white has a slight advantage. And here's a blunder from white, right? So it went from white having an advantage, 0.6 plus 0.6, to now black is minus 5.3. So a blunder, right? Queen g6 was the best move. So let's give the stockfish continuation, queen g6. And here at this point, it's plus 0.7 for white. So again, with this move, white lost the game. And everything, I mean, here just black is winning, right? And that's it. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video.